Okay, I think we are live. Well, not live, but we are here. Hi, Dan. Nice to have you here.
Hi, Moitza.
Hi, everyone. I'm joined by Idan Meir today, and we're going to be discussing or chatting about conscious living and conscious dance, because Idan is a conscious dance teacher, and I'm really excited to dive into this exciting topic. Hi, Dan. Welcome again.
Hi, Moitza.
So lovely to have you here. So first of all, I just love the sound of conscious living and conscious dance. Conscious living is something I aspire to as well, but I would love to hear what is it for you? How do you think of or define, if you will, conscious living? And how did you kind of get into conscious dance? Maybe first the conscious living, yeah.
Oh, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. I think I started with the body. I started with dancing. And I realized that when I'm dancing, I'm becoming in contact with some deeper, I would call it entities or voices of me, which I could play around and choose which voice do I want to listen to and follow and which I prefer not to. And the dance immediately brought me into consciousness, into awareness of myself, and to learning who am I. And it was very spontaneous. It was without any guidance. It was not knowing what I was doing. As a student, I had a lot of things I was studying theater, so I had a lot of creative projects, and I love dancing. And there was, every Friday evening, there was this event. It's called Jinga, and it is still happening in Tel Aviv. And you just go into a space and you dance, free dance. There were different DJs, everybody's barefoot, no alcohol. So it was just for people who want to express themselves and to dance and to connect to others. And I remember myself as a student going into this room, didn't care about anything, dance for 45 minutes, hour, sometimes a bit more, a bit less, connecting to myself. And then everything was so open and so easy. The communications were easy. Connecting to people were easy. My heart was open. My mind was quiet. So I could be really present. And I didn't pay so much attention to it. It was something that I did regularly. But when I stopped doing it, I really missed it. I really looked for a place where I can connect to myself, to my deeper self, not just to this everyday self that we are living with, but to the one that is a bit underneath and hidden. And that is the place where the conscious dance brings you to conscious living. When you start to bring the wisdom of the conscious dance and the embodiment into your life, so that it is not separated. So when I'm dancing and I'm connected to something that is deeper than me, I can also dance when I'm doing my dishes, or when I'm cooking, or when I'm approaching my family, and being more conscious of the different parts of me that are alive right now. And then I can choose which part I allow to be more present and which I prefer not to. So life is full of challenges, and that's great, because challenges are waking us up and allowing us to basically learn better about ourselves. And my recent challenge is, we have twins in our family. There are two girls, 1.5-year-olds already, and we have a 5-year-old at home. So our family really expanded. We moved to a new flat in Vienna. We opened a studio, which you can see around me. And this brings a lot of stress, because this expansion is very, very sudden. And when you expand yourself suddenly, you can fall into fear, you can fall into reactivity, you can fall into doubts, you can fall into many, many places. And that's where the conscious living comes even stronger than the conscious dance. I'm working a lot I'm also a Iyengar Yoga teacher. We didn't talk about it. So I work a lot with my physical body, and I teach dance, and I meditate. But it's not about when you are practicing, it's about between the practice. How are you doing? because you can sit in your meditation and feel fantastic, and then somebody is opening the door and you shout at him, "What are you doing? Don't you see I'm meditating right now? Close the door." And then this person is closing the door. Maybe it's my 5-year-old son, and I realize, what is going on? What am I doing? What is this meditation about? So it's about what happened to you when you finish your program, when you're out of the dance floor, when you're out of your mat, when you're out of your meditation pillow. How are you there in your interactions and in every moment that you are basically living? And it's about the moments, it's about being in the moment, being present, not resist anything, accepting everything that is happening. The annoying things become less annoying when you accept them. The fears become less big when you look at them. It's just this. And that's how I came up to practice it in my everyday life, and just to become a better parent, to become a better partner, to become a better teacher, and to become better for myself as well. So that's where the conscious living and the conscious practice, movement, yoga, meditation, dance, whatever, is coming together.
So beautiful. I love that. And actually, there's a lot of overlap in how we see things. So it's interesting, especially with when you mentioned the voices, right? And being aware of more, so it gives you a choice of what you want to bring in and what not.
And that's freedom. Freedom is about this. I'm coming from a theater background, and I used a lot of theater of the oppressed from Augusto Boal. And in Theatre of the Oppressed, there was a very, very specific part that I loved. And at some point, I focused only on it, which is the Rainbow of Desires. And the Rainbow of Desires is basically bringing to life all these voices that you have in your head. Boal called it the cops in the head, not cops, but cops, the police cops. But I have also, and I practiced it. For 7 years, I had a few theater groups that we worked with this. The first one was an Israeli and Palestinian group where we looked at the really, really heavy, deep, big narratives of two nations in a conflict. And then I moved to Ireland and I lived there for 4.5 years. And then I worked a lot with post-conflict situations. So I moved from a conflict situation to a post-conflict situation in Northern Ireland and Ireland on the border of the north west of Ireland. And I always felt that I missed something, because you cannot divide the world to oppressors and oppressed. There is much more complexity there, and simplicity as well. And that's where I realized, and I always worked a lot with movement, always work from the body. And then I realized, okay, I want to add something to my work. And I started to study the open flow. I did a training with Open Flow International. I went on a journey for 3.5, 4 years exploring this practice. And it took me over so hard that I left the theater away. And I'm now doing only this. But the theater, the tools from the theater are always there at the background. So I'm always looking for where can I also add this flavor into the work. So I believe also that playfulness is very important, and not taking things too serious, and not being too serious about being conscious all the time. And allowing ourselves with compassion to fall out of consciousness and then to come back to consciousness, because we are humans, and we're not only beings. and that's where basically we have more compassion to ourselves when we fail, when we react, when we are not happy with this. Okay, so we learn, we come back to it again, and we try again. And we try again.
Yeah, that's another place for that self-acceptance, right? That you mentioned before. Accepting things is kind of, it wasn't your words, but how I often put it, when we accept things, it kind of releases, like it diffuses. As long as we resist, there's this tension, right? It's almost like, it's tension. And then if you let go, there's nothing to It's not about, it's not.
I don't like being tired, for example. I like to be always vital and full of energy. And with kids, when you have three kids, two babies, you face tiredness every day. And I realized that the moment I surrender to tiredness, I don't resist it, I allow myself to be tired, I'm not tired anymore. It's like a magic. I just like, for a moment, I just drop it. Because it's a lot about what I say about the tiredness, the story behind the tiredness, and where is it coming from? I don't know. Maybe there is a voice from my mom, which I love, that says to me, "Why are you looking like this? What are you tired? What did you do the whole day? Something like this." I don't know. But then you have already idea about tiredness, and why is it so bad to be tired? Tiredness is part of life. So you accept it, you surrender to it, you don't judge it anymore, and then tiredness is not a story, it's not a big deal, it's just a sensation. And these sensations can be also really, really beautiful, and it can be really, I can rest when I'm tired, I can really drop something away, and I release stress when I allow myself to be tired. But we are living in this environment and society that always wants you to be in your best. But it's not possible. Also, when you go to an interview, job interview, you want to show you the best of you. Isn't that human to show that you're also sometimes tired, And you start an interview and you say to the people, I'm sorry, I had such a night. I didn't sleep. My son called me at 12 o'clock and I couldn't fall asleep because I was really excited about this interview. So I'm a little bit tired now. Immediately, you're not tired anymore because you mentioned, you named it. That's it. Tiredness is gone. Next. Okay. So I love practicing it when we are dancing, because one of the principles of open flow, which I love, is move and include. Move and include. Include everything that is present right now. Don't press anything away. Just allow it to be. And when you resist nothing, you are free. You're just enjoying whatever it is. Okay, now I'm dancing with tiredness. Now I'm dancing with boredom. Oh, this is so boring here. Oh, what am I doing? I don't like this song. I will really wait for the next one. No, maybe I will just dance with boring, being bored a little bit. Boring brings creativity. Many times my son says to me, "I'm so bored." And I love it to hear it from him. Great. I think in my head, great. Be bored, because that brings the creativity. And suddenly he starts to play with something really stupid from the kind of like judgment perspective. Yes. And then from this, he builds something that he never thought that he would be. And I said to him, "Oh, you were so bored, and look now how creative you are." So dance with whatever is there, live with whatever is there, and allow it to transform, because it never stays, nothing stays.
Yeah, nothing stays forever. Everything's shifting all the time. And I had the pleasure of experiencing a few of your conscious dance classes, Idan, when they were still online. Now you do most of them live, right, in Vienna. Yes. And I just want to say to everyone watching, oh my God, they're so good. And if they're coming back online, I'll be the first one there.
Thank you.
But tell us more. Yeah, really. And when you described the time when you were a student, you just went there and danced for 45 minutes or whatever, not thinking about anything. I so relate to that as well. I mean, I would go to, let's say, out with friends and I would dance. But when I was dancing, it was like nothing else existed. It was just being one with myself somehow. I don't know. It's nothing else mattered. I was so in the moment. So I really relate to that. That's probably why I really enjoy your class.
And that's my aim, Moitza. That's exactly what I aim to. I aim to bring the people to be present. And I call it now, I'm calling the next course Steps into Present, or into presence, or stepping into presence, or dancing into presence. Because presence is who, is what is here. Presence is who we are. We are presence. We are our existence in the moment. It's
Yes.
the whole concept of time is something man-made. There's no
Mm.
time, you know. Yeah. So for me, I cannot have a success class of or failure. I just open the space for the people to experience themselves and I can encourage the people to be who they are right now and to accept it in a total way and to dance with what is present for them right now and to practice them being present and staying present. And there's a lot of layers to it. So being present is means on a physical level that you feel your body, that you really have the sensations of your body, and you can see. You have your eye perspectives. You see, but you see in a way that there is no judgments coming between. So, and it's a big practice to see life without judgments, because everything we see, we immediately start to tag it with whatever we were already brought into this world, from language, from whatever. So when we dance, we practice just observing. Now I'm looking at beautiful grass that is outside of our window, and I already said grass. But if I don't say grass, because we call it grass, but this is a phenomena, something coming from the ground. Yeah, ground is also a phenomena. So I start to realize that my mind is always telling me. But if I don't want my mind to tell me, then I just witness, I just observe. I'm very, very pure when I'm like this, like a child, very naive. I don't know, I just explore. So the eyes perceptions and the ears, what I'm listening to. I work with music, of course. It's not of course, but I work with music. And the music takes you on a journey, on a physical journey, on emotional journey, and then also a little bit towards the mind, to be as as I can describe it, above your thinking level. Not to be, not that you've been thought by your thoughts, but you
Yes.
are aware of thinking is happening right now. And while I am aware to it, I'm a bit more free because I can choose if to listen to this voice in my head or not. They are not so important in general, what is in the head. And then there
Yes.
is a moment that there is no thinking, and then you basically expand this moment. You expand this moment. So we work with the body, with the emotional body, we work with the mind, and we also work with our soul. What is the soul? The soul is our unique expression in this world. Yeah? Whatever we want to bring into form in this world, whatever we want to manifest in this world. So I call it conscious awareness dance practice, or conscious awareness meditation, movement, dance practice, and manifestation. Because when we are in deep rooted in consciousness and in conscious awareness, then we are manifesting our life towards a different place. We are transforming our life just by this action. So the next level is the spirit. Open floor, we call it spirit. It doesn't matter how you call it. You can call it God. You can call it your deep I, your consciousness, or whatever. But it is the level of conscious awareness where I am aware that I am aware. I am aware that I am aware. So I'm in this place of complete silence, maybe, or stillness, and I'm just enjoying being one with whatever is present right now, the environment, the people in the room that are dancing with me or practicing yoga with me, or at the end of a yoga session when you are lying in shavasana, you are just one with whatever is present right now, with your body, with your mind, with your soul. And this is a beautiful sensation that you sometimes want to bring also when you're out of the dance floor. You're going back home and you see the world is different, and the world didn't change. The world is the same, but you changed. And when you change, you do change also the world, because that's the way it is. How do I know it? Because I change. If I changed, then the world changed.
Exactly. you impact other people differently. You give different energy into the world. You are motivated, if you will, to take different actions. And oh, I love so much of what you said, Idan, really. From early on, when you were talking about conflict and how, accepting more, I really, I feel like we could go on for hours. I have so much to say, but I know that we're a little bit constrained with time today. And I'm so grateful for everything that you shared. It was absolutely beautiful. And a particular thing that I do want to underline, because I so agree, is that this whole work, right? Conscious living, conscious dance, conscious raising our awareness and our consciousness, it really is, like you said, not just for the mat, for the dance floor, for the meditation cushion, where it really makes the most differences in your life, outside of those small moments.
In relationships,
because isn't all life relationships, either relationship with ourselves or with others. I love it. Absolutely. A pleasure to talk to you today. And tell us, do you have something coming up in your your professional whatever you're doing, and tell people where you are. You're in Vienna physically, right? I'm sure people that might be watching this will wonder, where can I join this class?
In Vienna. I start actually on today we have a class here, so I'm going to transform this space to a dance space from a yoga studio. And from next Saturday, I'm having art in motion, and I call it Still Point. And this is a form that comes from open floor, where we do art and dance, writing, drawing, dancing, whatever art you would like to explore, we do it. And this is once a month, so it's the 30th of April this time, Saturday, 2.5 hours. It's a workshop. And then the week after, Fridays, we have 5 Fridays of conscious dance practice, where we go deep into each of these entrance or gateways into presence. So each time we are focusing on, okay, the body. How can I use my body as an entrance to, or as a gate, or as a to the present moment? And how can I use my mind? And how can I use the emotional body? And how can I use my soul? And connect to spirit. And so each session is focused on one specific portal or gate.
Sounds fascinating, very exciting. So I'll make sure that I put the details of where you are based and so on, if anybody from Austria might be watching, so they can join and also maybe get on your mailing list, and then they know if you ever run anything online again.
Yes, this will happen soon as well. Probably.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Idan, before we wrap, I just want to ask, do you have, you shared so many nuggets of wisdom, but is there any one thing that you, like, if you had one, thing to share with the listeners, is there anything that stands out that you still want to share?
I think I think being present and being conscious should be everybody's journey in this life. And bringing more of the being aspect of us than the human, more of the unmanifested more than the manifested, the formless more than the form, because this is who we really are. We are not our skin and our bodies and our thoughts. We are much deeper than that. And I think this should come more out than through what we have, through our beautiful bodies and through our great minds. But more important than what we achieve on the form level is how we basically do what we choose to do in this world, in which level of consciousness we act.
Yeah.
So consciousness is a life journey, and I hope that many people will take on this journey, because then the world will be changed. Yeah, so this is my...
Agreed. If only we could get everyone on board, we would have a transformed world.
Yeah.
Hopefully someday we can witness that, or from another plane, we might be looking down and say, yay, they did it. All right, Idan, thank you so much. Thanks everyone that has been watching, and bye for now.
Thank you.